type like a pro. Let's start by setting up your finger positioning. Look at the F and J keys on your keyboard. Do you see the bumps on each key? Close your eyes and feel for the bumps using your 2 index fingers. Take your time, but don't look. Did you get it? Your index fingers should always find their way back to F and J by feeling for those bumps. Now curve your fingers and bring your other fingers down on the next 3 keys on either side. This is called the home row position. For example, to type the letter U, your right index finger will travel up 1 key and then quickly return to the bump on the J key. Okay, before we start, there is only one rule you must always follow. Never, ever look at the keyboard while typing. If you follow this rule, your index fingers will quickly learn to find their way home by feeling for the bumps. Fast typists forget about the keyboard and don't even realize their fingers are at work. They feel one with the computer. After some practice, you'll start feeling it too. The computer becomes a part of your body and your mind is in full control. Let's get started. go to rest, start our day, and even begin our travels. Did you know that when typing, your fingers also have a home on your keyboard? It's called the home row. The home row is made up of 8 special keys. It starts with A, S, D, and F, jumps over G and H, and keeps going with J, K, L, and stops at semicolon. It's called the home row because it is where your fingers should feel at home when typing. From the home row, all other keys are just a short distance away. As you practice, you will build speed because you hardly have to move your fingers from one key to the next. You see, hunting and pecking at letters makes it harder to concentrate when you type. You also type slower and build the wrong muscle memory. The home row is awesome because it helps you know where to place your hands, even without looking at the keyboard. Look, these are the F and J keys. Take both of your index fingers and feel for the bumps on these 2 keys. You can even do this without looking at the keyboard.
It's time for the 2020
now curve
census.
your hands like bear paws.
What is the
and bring
census?
your fingers down on the
For my
next 3
grandfather,
keys on either
the
side.
census meant new
When you do
possibilities.
this, the letter
He
G
came
and
here
H
50
keys
years
should
ago
be
for a
open
better
without
life.
any fingers
And he
on them.
learned the census
Placing
counted
your fingers on
everyone
the
to
home row
inform
will help
billions
you
of
learn to
dollars
type
in
faster
funding each
and
year
build
for
the correct
things
muscle
that
memory.
mattered to him
Now try
and his
doing it with your
community.
eyes closed.
Thanks to him,
Anytime
we all
you
got
find
counted,
your fingers
which
troubling
gave us
around
all the
keyboard while you
possibilities
type,
we have
remember
today.
to feel for those bumps
Shape
on
your
F
future.
and J.
Start
and
here.
bring your
Complete the
fingers back
census
to
at
home, sweet
2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
Today's hottest viral hits you won't want to miss. You heard it here first. Featuring Doja Cat, Tyga, Rosalia, Arizona Gervais, and more. Listen now on Spotify.
can go hand in hand? Most of us spend a few minutes to a few hours each day in front of the computer. Some of us, well, quite a bit more. In fact, the average American spends 8.5 hours in front of the computer every day. Because we spend so much time sitting behind a computer, we need to keep our posture in mind. Posture is the way we hold our body when performing an activity. While activities like running or swimming might be the first to come to mind, sitting is also an activity. Bad posture when sitting can be harmful. It leads to headaches, sore backs and muscles, and even pain after you stand up and leave your computer. And that's just after one day. If you keep the same bad posture for years, you can get seriously hurt, and might even need surgery. Good posture, on the other hand, helps improve our concentration, letting us work longer and harder. It also prevents sore muscles, leading us to feel happier and healthier, both at and away from the computer. Now that we're all sitting, let's practice good posture together. Are you ready? Okay. Pretend you're at a fancy restaurant. Sit straight, don't slouch or slump. Look straight ahead. Make sure your eyes look directly into your monitor, the same way you would look at someone across the table from you. You don't want to have to point your head up or down. Adjust the height of your seat or your screen if you need to. If your feet don't reach the ground, make sure to use a footrest. Don't rest your forearms on the desk or armrests. Your wrists should hover just above the keyboard without touching it. Keep those elbows at right angles in the shape of an L. Now you're ready to work. These tips are good to keep in mind, whether you use a desktop